For the last few days, the cross-assault chauvinism has been bugging me. Yes, I know it's a 2-year-old incident, so I will be beating a dead horse by ranting about it. But it was brought to my attention recently as a response to one of my comments about the fighting game community's general cruelty. I watched, and dear God, now I wished I had known this a lot sooner. For the uninformed, cross-assault was an introduction tournament involving group teams for one of Capcom's fighting games. Street Fighter X, Tekken, I think. I'll provide the link in the description so you can figure it out for yourself, since it's not the important part. What happened was that there was only one girl named Miranda who was playing in the tournament. And it didn't take long for Miranda's coach Eris and her team in general to make remarks like how mud wrestling girls would go with her. That was actually within the very first minute of the video I linked to in the description. A 13-minute video, which even by the already god-awful standards of the behavior, has a standout in the cruelty. 3 minutes and 20 seconds in. Oh, I will get to that! And the video covers only day 1 of this stupidity. She had to contend with this brand of bullshit for 5 days! Yes, 5 days of this abuse, non-stop, with nobody doing anything to alleviate the problem one bit. I need to point out first that the opposite sex does no sort of sadism through manipulation, cruelty, and cowardice. They will gladly admit abusing the sarcastic confession trope that they don't care about boys and marriage. They just want money and memes. Screw off. To them, power is all that matters. And like I ran it time and again, they pretend to be nice. But yeah, they're bitches in sheep's clothing. There's a general reason that the general females of my story will be equally unpleasant. And let me tell you right now that the problem will fit with the themes of the story like kid gloves. That's how bad it is! Still, what the chauvinist in the cross-assault incident was absolutely unacceptable. Miranda, who was attending their precious tournament, wasn't doing anything wrong, and suddenly she is being treated as nothing more than a trophy right off the bat. Actually, with actual trophies, you normally care for them or can become indifferent to them, but abuse is anything but normal. She's the one girl around and should be treated with gratitude, but instead, these slime balls see fit to dehumanize her, and she can't even fight back. There is at no point in that entire video one fucking instant of them being decent human beings. Remember, the video is 13 minutes long, and it covers only the first day of the problem, out of 5 days where nobody is stepping in to intervene. The masochism gets particularly sick at that standout moment of cruelty that I pointed to before. Basically, Miranda leaves momentarily. I think she did go to the bathroom, but I'm not sure she did say so. Although it was certainly implied by, yes, what I'm going to rant about. Her team tells her to be put in, and yes, they casually talk about having cameras in the ladies' bathroom. What the fuck? So whenever she had to go to the bathroom, the public got to see her urinating, including clear view of her bare vagina, even if she was as shy as could be. What kind of bullshit is that? Now she has everybody seeing a show come out of her, literally and figuratively, whether she wants it or not, and she's been done about it. That is just like group bullying! Oh! Seriously, why weren't these sociopaths arrested even if it would have been just for beyond lecherous comments? I'll tell you why. Because money talks, and they have plenty of it from their tournaments with fighting games that only manage to reward their garbage. Fighting games don't think to instill some sort of decent basic value system. I know that would be hard to implement without messing with the basic ideals of fighting games, but Super Smash Bros., as much as I wail on it for having that damned unconditional flinching, does at least have character builds that make sense when playing the characters on games and thinking about what they're about. While it has stupid shit like the aforementioned unconditional lynching, which still rewards overthinking, it's still a relative step in the right direction. Sadly, fighting games ultimately just want cheesy combos that have no sense of counterplay, and as long as they do, we know where the income of the abrasive players will be coming from. The biggest insult is that people will gladly think I am somehow worse than the very trash I'm complaining about right now, just for making ours common. Well, to those people, excuse me for daring to define your bullshit. Oh hey, look at that! You're the same sort of garbage I am complaining about in this video. It's even the same brand, the one that deludes itself into thinking that those who complain about its abuses are just subhuman. Don't want to hear that comparison? Then guess what? I want a wife who is very kind, has a strong, well-flowing sense of patience, is energetic enough, of course, and has sufficient creativity for standing by a healthy sense of morality without issue. Oh, what's that? Not going to happen? Then I become quite able to prove that you are subhuman for your own shit. And if you think otherwise, then tell me more about the wonderful job you are doing, proving that such a gal exists and wouldn't want to bother with me. By the way, I've heard all the excuses before, and I also know all girls want bad boys is a ridiculously common phenomenon. Any nut job who still want to insist on somehow as bad as those chauvinists get to contend with one issue. I would have objected to the public show cameras in the girls' bathroom comments as a kid. I would have done so as a teen, and I'm clearly doing so as an adult. One given solid reason to not trust the opposite sex at that. Chauvinist camera comments were simply that heinous. I didn't even notice what happened in the incident for the longest time, and I still saw fit to make a response to a comment on Extra Credits video about harassment, which talked about the cross assault incident, no less. That asking females to show off their breasts is beta that guys should at least have some decency. I'm not surprised that my comment got 15 thumbs up. Rather, I wouldn't be surprised if people managed to show more decency in general. Then again, what do I expect from most people anyway? Trolling and chauvinism are treated as the fucking norm. No excuses is abuse beyond any halfway welcome level. People don't try to help with each other's problems because they're ironically busy making excuses. Girls just want to stick with double standards just so that they can have superficial control. And I would just love to see the logic behind how when older sisters visit, they would ask their own brother, their brony, with all the malicious intent on their part I'm implying. Just because the TV channel is set to the hot, and then people claim that, no, I am somehow just an ass, and for its own sake at that. I mean, how do you get to that conclusion to begin with? Maybe these problems could still be fixed, but for that to happen, people need to start being much nicer and much more genuine, and a little bravery to stand up to the persistent scumbags when hurt. Until that happens, we're stuck with them, whether we like it or not.